Shabbat Shalom. It's Rabbi David Barron with my 5-minute Torah talk. I hope you can make it tonight to our Shabbat service, but if you can't, circle your calendar for September 16th, Friday night at 8 p.m. for our Selichot service. We're bringing the members and community of Bet Teshuvah, a recovery community that works with people in terms of substance abuse and addiction. And they're going to be our special guests at our joint Shabbat service at our Temple of the Arts. So we hope you can make it September 16th at 8 p.m. for a very moving service called Teshuvah, Repentance with Bet Teshuvah. We look forward to greeting you. Also, don't forget about the High Holy Day services, which will be taking place a week later, September 24th, leading into Rosh Hashanah and Yom Kippur. And this year, we're adding a second day of Rosh Hashanah for the traditionalist who'd like to observe a second day. So we're very excited about all the special guests and artists who are going to be a part of our magnificent High Holy Day services. Go on our temple website, templeofthearts.org, to secure your membership and tickets. This week's Torah portion is the portion of Akev, and it continues the last orations or speeches of Moses to the Jewish people as he reminds them of the journey they've been on through the wilderness over 40 years and how they're poised now to enter into the promised land, the land flowing with milk and honey, the land of Israel. And what's interesting is in this description, we also have the law of the mezuzah. The mezuzah is the parchment that's contained in a container placed on the doorpost of our homes. The word mezuzah literally means doorpost, and it's one of the distinctive signs of a Jewish home. In some homes, they put a mezuzah on every single doorway and entrance. In fact, there's a funny story about a man who became very wealthy, and he decided to build a huge house with 14 rooms. And he told the contractor that he had secured 14 mezuzot, and while he was away on some business, please put up all the mezuzot on the right-hand doorpost facing in. And the man returned from his business trip, and the contractor said to him, "Mr. Cohen, you'll be very happy we put the mezuzot on all 14 doorposts as you asked. And don't worry, we threw those little guarantees that were inside, we threw them out." Well, of course, those of us who know, that little guarantee refers to the parchment scroll, which makes it a kosher mezuzah. You can't just put a piece of paper in there. It has to be a handwritten parchment scroll which contains the words of the Shema. The mezuzah is really about consciousness. When you enter your home and when you leave your home, there's the custom of kissing the mezuzah. And what's interesting about that is that that's a sign of reverence and respect for the place you inhabit. You live there, you spend your lifetime there. And that is a special and sacred place you create with your books, with your music, with all of the things, photographs, the things that are precious and valuable to you beyond money and possessions. And so sanctifying the space you inhabit is so important. It also speaks to a consciousness. And in the Torah reading, Moses admonishes the children of Israel and says to them, don't forget to be thankful for all of the gifts God has given you. Well, it's easy to say thank you. You can say it in a trite way, and many of us do throughout the course of a day or a week. But when you have a thankfulness consciousness, as Rabbi Schiffman referred to, when you really focus on what it means to be thankful and think about all of the blessings you have in your life, the people you have in your life, the experiences you have in your life that you're able to fully enjoy, then you have a consciousness of thankfulness. And that is critical to really being able to appreciate life. And so Moses says to the children of Israel, be thankful for all the things God did for you. Don't forget them, because sometimes when we achieve success or when we achieve wealth, we forget about our humble origins. That's one of the reasons why one of the most important holidays that follows on the heels of Yom Kippur is Sukkot, where we build these little huts or booths to remember the humble beginnings of the Jewish people. And that drives us towards humility and thankfulness. They did an experiment with a group of middle schoolers about having a thankfulness consciousness about the people who helped them and having those feelings of appreciation for the people who helped them. And what they found is that the behavior of these young students at that difficult age, it's kind of preteen, it's between young childhood years and teenage years, that very difficult transitional time. that those students in the control group, the ones who were given this thankfulness consciousness, behaved much better, achieved much better on their academic scores. So all of us can learn a lesson, and the lesson is the scroll, the parchment that's on the doorpost of our homes. When we look at it, we must think of the blessings we have, that we have a place to call home, that we have a place that we can gather, we can invite friends, that we have a place that we can experience peacefulness and rest and safety from the storms of life. Those are all great blessings to be thankful for. And all of us must be aware that in our lifetime, we have a choice to make, either to ignore thankfulness, to not show appreciation, or to do so. And when you express thankfulness, you elevate your consciousness and those around you. They take that lesson, that instruction by example. So I hope we can fill our lives with the example of the mezuzah. You know, not too long ago, I injured my femur, and it was a bad injury. I was in bed for a month, and after that, I really experienced a lot of rehab until, thank God, I was back and healed and functioning to my old self. And one of the things I did for a good year is I took one of the crutches that I depended upon, and I put it in the bathroom. And every time I went into the bathroom, I looked at that crutch, and it reminded me how much I have to be thankful for. No more pain, no more disability. I can get around and move around like I used to, but I remember those days, and that makes me appreciative and thankful for the blessings that I have of mobility right now. All of us can look upon that mezuzah as kind of our symbol, our reminder of what we have to be thankful for, the gifts that are with us from the Creator morning, noon, and night. I hope we take that message to heart, and I wish all of you a Shabbat Shalom.